Good day, folks, and welcome back to Ed's Garage. Today we're doing a 5 likes and 5 dislikes on the 2023 Santa Fe Calligraphy. Now, you might be wondering why you're on the inside of the vehicle and I'm standing here on the outside. Well, that's because my first like is actually in regard to something called Smart Park. Now, what Smart Park is a function on the key fob that allows you to control the car remotely. So check this out. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the car using the remote start system. You can see the mirrors just folded in there, and now the car is running. But now I'm going to back up a little bit. I've got the key fob in my hand. I got a couple of cool buttons on the key fob. Hopefully you can still see me. I'm going to move a little bit over to the side here so you can see. Check this out. I'm going to hold this button on the key fob, and there it goes. The car is now moving itself. You'll notice there's nobody sitting in the driver's seat. It's all remote with the key fob, and I'm just sitting here walking along with the car now. Not sitting here. I'm just walking along with the car. All right, woo! Camera moves a little bit because we just came to a stop. Now I'm gonna go backwards, all with 2 buttons on the key fob. How crazy is that? All right, let's see what that looks like on the outside. So basically on the key fob, you can see these 2 buttons here. Basically all I need to do is hold this one, and that will allow the car to go forwards. So yeah, if you're in a really tight parking space, you can actually use the key fob to remotely control the vehicle. And there it goes. How cool is that? All right, my second favorite thing about the Santa Fe has to do with what's under the hood. That's right, we have on this vehicle, keep in mind, this is the calligraphy trim, the very, very top trim, okay? It's got a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It puts out around about 280 horsepower and 311 foot-pounds of torque, mated to a wet dual clutch transmission, 8-speed wet dual clutch. This thing flies off the line. It's got a lot of power for the size of the vehicle. It's very, very quick. And it's able to tow actually up to 3,500 pounds as well with a trailer brake controller. So great powertrain, very, very smooth shifts. I love how the hood actually is held up by struts. So that's kind of nice as well. Yeah, let's look at some other things. So that has got to be like number 2. All right, like number 3 is the interior. Have a look at this beautiful, very luxurious interior. This is a true Napa leather. It's real leather. Very, very comfortable seats. Dashboard layout, everything just works in this vehicle. It's a really, really comfortable place to be. Even the headliner is suede and feels fantastic. And of course you have the giant panoramic sunroof. It's not even open up all the way at the moment, but it is a really, really, really nice luxury interior with great comfort. Even the seats have the extendable, the thigh support here that you can retract and extend, 4-way lower back support. Yeah, really, really nice interior. So that has got to be like number 3. Number 4 is in the trunk. So let's have a quick look here. Of course, this one does have the Smart Power lift gate. And by the way, while we're here, it does open up to a pretty good height. It's got about 2 inches above my head, and I'm 6'2". But that's not the thing I was talking about. Like number 4 is the underfloor grocery organizer. I've always liked this about the Santa Fe, and it is just better now. So you got 3 storage compartments. These are waterproof. You can fill them up. There's no drain, unfortunately, but if you wanted to throw some ice in there, you could. And this actually does come out quite easily. You can actually pull that floor off very, very easy, and then you can just lift this whole thing out. And of course, when the floor is flat and the seats are flat, it's a huge amount of space back here as well. But specifically, the grocery organizer, I wish all SUVs had that. It's fantastic. Number 5, check this out. You ready for this? Woo! Built-in retractable sunshades. I know, pretty simple, but not a lot of cars have that, so that is definitely like number 5. How about my 5 dislikes? Well, honestly, guys, this is a fantastic vehicle, and it's hard to find anything to fault with it, but there are a few things, so let's cover those right now. Yes, you'll notice that the lights are currently flashing. It's not the placement that I have a problem with. I will say this, for the placement, you would have to be like within 2 meters of the back of this car to not see those flashing lights. So that's not the issue I have. The issue I have is their color. It seems like so many vehicles sold in Canada and North America have red flashers. Now, yeah, they're just as visible, but why is it that, in Europe they're orange and here they're red? Red is the same color as the brake lights. They should be orange, and that's the way I can, I would say that on every single vehicle. Now, dislike number 2, pretty minor. Dislike number 1 was pretty minor, but dislike number 2 also kind of minor. It's only got one tailpipe back here. I think it would look so much cooler with twin chrome exhaust, but unfortunately it just has the one. Dislike number 3 is in this area here. Can you guess what it is? Okay, I'll tell you. It's under here. So right there is your secondary cup holder. And right there is the USB port for the wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which should be a dislike, but at this point, all of our vehicles that have built-in navigation don't have wireless. So yeah, that's a dislike I have for all of our vehicles. But anyway, so this cup holder, it's sunken quite deep in here and it's right next to a USB port. I'd be worried about, coffee and whatnot spilling into that port specifically. Now, there's a lot of cars that put their their cup holders next to buttons and whatnot. But this one here, I just find it's an awkward placement, and having it covered up is just kind of weird as well. I mean, in principle, it does work, but yeah, I just don't like the placement of that. I wish they did this a little bit differently. It's like number 4. This is kind of a weird one. So I'm always trying to get people to put their headlights on during the day, because in automatic, during the day, you don't have tail lights. So if it's like pouring rain or snowing or foggy or whatever, you have to put this on to get tail lights during the day. If it's on auto, the tail lights just aren't on. You just have daytime running lights in the front. At night, it's not a big deal because the headlights turn on, the tail lights turn on, and everything. So one thing I really like about Hyundai is that when you put the headlights on, you can shut the car off and it's not a big deal. Everything turns off anyway. You don't have to remember to turn this off or put it on auto or whatever. The dislike that I have though is you'll notice here it says auto. So what that is that's auto high beams. And for whatever reason, Hyundai's made it so that if the headlights are in the on position, the auto high beams become disabled. So in order to use auto high beams, you also have to have the headlights on auto. I find that a little bit frustrating and annoying, and that is definitely a dislike that I have for this vehicle. And quite frankly, all Hyundai vehicles that have auto high beams. I don't like that. My last dislike for the Santa Fe has to do with its styling. Now, it's not a bad looking car. It's actually a pretty nice looking vehicle. However, I find that it's a little bit too generic. When you put it up against the current generation Tucson, this just loses its appeal, I find anyway. I find the Tucson for 2022 and beyond just looks fantastic. There's one sitting right there. And this kind of looks like everything else on the road, maybe with the exception of these really cool LED daytime running lights, though they are pretty cool. So it's a pretty minor thing. It's a decent looking vehicle, don't get me wrong, but that thankfully is going to change for 2024 for the redesign of the Santa Fe. It looks awesome. So yeah, last dislike, just overall styling of the vehicle. All right, well, there you have it. Those are my 5 likes and dislikes for the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy. I'm using the remote park right now to get a little bit of moving action here. What do you think? And now when I stop it, the camera's gonna fall over. Oh, nope, we're good. If this video helped you out at all, guys, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Leave any comments below that you may have in regards to your likes and dislikes of the Santa Fe. I'd love to hear your take on the matter. But yeah, if this video helped you out, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.